The course is actually very, very diverse. There's a lot of places where this machine's going to be amazing.
There's been a lot happening since we spoke to you last at the first test day. We came back and did a bunch of work, mostly around the electronics, the stability control systems and things like that. At this point, we are really preparing for the next test day. We've got 2 more test days scheduled for the first half of this year, really with the aim of making this thing absolutely bulletproof and learning as much as we can. And most importantly, getting Craig to learn as much as he can about the truck as well and what it takes to drive a 3-ton beast around on these off-road tracks. We really want to make sure the car can run for extended periods at high loads, high RPM, make sure all the transmission cooling and the engine cooling is doing its job properly. Then we'll go into really trying to do a simulation of the main race that we're going for. All our efforts now are combined to double down into getting the car ready for that. And of course, there's so many moving pieces that we're going to have into place. But we have an awesome team, more than confident that we'll be able to pull that off.
Oh mate, I'm looking forward to the challenge really. It's something that we're not super experienced in. We've both had a bit of experience, but it's a challenge and we're up for it. So yeah, I'm quite excited about it.
I think Craig's one of those guys who can drive anything, and he's shown that over the years, his longevity in the sport. Well, I'd already say he's up to speed really, and you know, once we really get stuck into it, I don't have any doubts whatsoever he'll be awesome in this car.
So I've been working on the fuel system mainly, that's my area of responsibility. So we've retained the original fuel tank underneath the car, and we need additional capacity on top of that for the longer stages that you do off-road racing. So we've got a second tank up in the tray, and we've got a feed system that transfers fuel from that down into the primary tank.
I've helped with rebuilding the suspension, putting the underbody systems on, just in general, just filling in, helping out where I can. So the suspension systems are almost factory. We've got a couple of small adjustments in there. We've got a cooling system, like a heat sink for the dampers. We've also got some check straps to make sure that the suspension travel doesn't extend beyond its working life. Apart from that, it's all pretty much factory.
Start of April 2024, it's our 4th test day today. So this is the final test day before we pack up and hit the road for Finke. Really today is about Craig getting experience with the truck in the situations that we're likely to encounter at Finke. So lots of whoops, lots of deep sand, bank corners, things like that. We are here at the Loveday 4-wheel drive park in South Australia. Quite a drive here to get from Melbourne. It was totally worth it. The place is absolutely awesome. A fantastic array of tracks for us to use here today. The guys are currently in the workshop doing a seat pour for Dale to make sure he's comfortable and safe in his seat for Finke. And then we're going to hit the tracks and get out there and really get some more miles on this car. We've been really happy with how the car's progressing so far for the first 3 test days. The last test day we did recently at a private property in Avoca really put the cars through its paces all day long. We put loads of mileage on the car and got some really good learnings out of that test day as well. So now we really want to continue with those learnings and really for Craig to get the experience in the car in these conditions.
Here at Loveday 4x4 Park, this is test 4 for us with the Silverado, getting ready for the Finke this year. Dale's alongside me, but just going to say that this is probably the closest conditions, well, you're probably more best to talk about it, than what we're going to find out at the Finke.
Yeah, that's the reason why we've come here. Like it is a 4x4 park, but it's also a racetrack around the Australian Off-Road Championship. And it simulates a lot of those conditions that we're going to get in Finke. So we want to test the sand, we want to test the whoops, we want to test the Berth Goodrich tyres, all those sorts of things. This is a place to do it.
I want us to make sure we're 10 times safer than normal. So everything that we talked about before, both from the General Motors side and from the Motorsport Australia side, built 10 times over. Mark will be running as well. For those that aren't aware of it, he's going to run a couple of minutes behind the main truck, so that they're not going to come into contact with each other. So I think we ticked off that from a safety perspective. And Mark knows if he's slow or if he's catching to slow up and give him a gap. Clearly the race won't be on, right? Make sure we get that on the camera. Very
Make him say it too.
Yeah, he was laughing.
The race is on.
Well, test 4 has been done. We've improved the truck a lot from this morning, so really great day, really much improved the ride handling and the compliance of especially more the rear of the truck over the whoops, which we're obviously going to encounter as we get out to Finke later on. But you know, I've got to thank the team a huge amount here at Loveday 4x4 Adventure Park, because they really have created and got an absolutely amazing park to be able to create and use the facilities to be able to put the truck through its paces, what we're going to face and what we're going to encounter when we get to Finke later on in this year. Really excited, a lot more confidence now at the end of this day.
Been to Finke a number of times as a spectator. Lucky enough to have a couple of runs around Prologue, but never actually get a chance to run down the track. So
it doesn't matter if it's your first time or going back there again. The excitement around the event's amazing.
We've put it through some really tough stuff so far, and it's stood up, and really compared to our road car that I drive at home, there's very little difference. All the mechanicals underneath are exactly what I have at home and what people can drive on the road. So again, it just shows the toughness of what these trucks can handle.
The course is actually very, very diverse, so there's a lot of places where this machine's going to be amazing.
Well, we've just finished our last test at Calder Park. Now we're ready to hit the Finke. But I just want to thank a couple of people, in particular Racer Industries, for organising this custom Sparko race suit. So Dale and I will be ready to go when we hit the ground.
Intensive testing campaign over the last couple of months, starting before Christmas actually, and today was the final shakedown before we go to Finke. Put it through its paces without putting any more wear on it, so we're all very happy. I think all the crew, all the team, everyone's happy. We've had a good run, and for everyone, the work they've done to get us to this point, we can now go to the race happy that we're ready to go and have a fair crack at Finke. So it's been a good result and a good preparation, and now we look forward to going to the race.